What's up, guys? So I've been streaming a lot of Gears E-Day since the betas come out. I think I've done at least 10 hours of E-Day so far. And I've had a lot of people coming into my chat asking for my sensitivity as well as my control scheme because they need some help getting used to the new controls on E-Day. So this video is going to be walking through my setup currently, what I plan to continue playing with, and then giving you guys some tips or pointers to maybe help you out as well. All right, so I'm going to load up combat training. If you guys haven't checked this out already, I highly recommend it. It's really good for understanding the game mechanics and testing out different guns and different settings in game. All right, so I'm going to head over to the target ranges for this, and we're going to set up a shop here. So first things first, I'm going to go through my sensitivities, why I have them the way they are. I'm playing on controller. It's been my main way of playing Gears since Gears 2 and 3. Gears 4 and 5, I started playing alternate. So I like to separate my roadie from taking cover on Gears 4 and 5. On this game, it's a little bit different. They don't really have the same default and alternate configurations as they do on Gears 4 and 5. And the reason for that is because there's two new things that you can do in the game which require buttons to perform those actions, which are jumping and climbing, as well as being able to slide. So those need to be assigned to buttons and they're taking up space. Therefore, you can't have the same default and alternate control schemes that you had on Gears 4 and 5, unless you disable certain buttons and certain functions, which you can't really do yet on controller. On keyboard and mouse, you can separate all the different actions into different binds, so that's good if you're on PC, but for controller, unfortunately, that's not really a thing right now. So these are the legacy settings. I tried these out. This is pretty much still running and sprinting, taking cover with A. And I discovered that I was still trying to play the game like Gears 4 and 5, and I was really struggling. So once I accepted the fact that this game is not like any other Gears games that we've played, I was like, let me try this out on the modern control schemes. And with modern, you run with your left stick. So you click it down to start sprinting. Very similar to a lot of the modern shooters like Call of Duty. I am playing modern alt. The difference between modern and modern alt is that on modern it's pretty much default where you can slide and take cover with a button. On alt you have to press B or another button to slide, so it's separate from taking cover, your roll and slide. What I also did was change my X and RB. So X here on modern alt by default is reload or interact, and then RB is going to be your melee or shoulder swap while aiming. What I did and what was more comfortable for me was I remapped my RB and X, so those are swapped. That way I can still reload with RB, and then I use X if I want a melee or shoulder swap. And then as far as my settings go, here are the remaps. So the only thing I have remapped, like I said, is X and RB. I have those pretty much swapped out, as you can see here. I'd like to see them add capabilities similar to keyboard and mouse where you can bind specific functions such as roll, running, and then sliding on separate keys or buttons. Let me show you what that looks like actually. So with keyboard and mouse, you can actually separate those, like sprint can be its own bind, slide, evade, take cover, and jump, as well as mantle, cover, crouch, right? All of those can technically be separate buttons. That makes it easier for some people to perform the exact action they want without making any mistakes. A lot of times on default, as you guys know, you might be trying to take cover on a wall and you accidentally roll. So that's why having bindings and specific functions mapped to a specific button would be beneficial. And that's why I like playing alternate. Something else to note, in this multiplayer beta, there's aim assist and it's pretty high. So don't beat yourself up if you're getting destroyed completely by noobs. On default, by default, there's also aim assist. You can turn it off. There's also a snap aim, which is very similar to Call of Duty, where when you aim down sights, it kind of helps you aim towards the target. And then there's lock on aim. When you use this, it literally is like aimbot. But the caveat to that is it can mess you up. If there's multiple enemies on your screen, you might end up aiming at the wrong enemy. I currently have mine set to snap aim because I don't want to get destroyed in this beta, and everyone else is running it as well. So why not? I'm not sure if the full game is going to have aim assist. So I would recommend just leaving it on default if you want to get used to the game. All right. Controller settings. So my sensitivity currently, which is kind of crazy to a lot of you, is 25s. On Gears 4 and 5, I played very low sensitivity, like 10. And actually 25 is low for me here. And the reason why it is low is because I have my aim acceleration all the way down to 0. So this setting, as it says, adjusts the strength of controller stick aim acceleration. And anytime you start turning, it'll pretty much give you a speed boost while you turn your camera. I don't like it on this game at all, so I have it turned off at the moment. Also, haven't touched my dead zones. I'm still getting used to the game. I don't really see the need on Gears to be very specific with my aim yet. Maybe if you're playing competitively, you might want to adjust these somewhat, or if you have any sort of stick drift. That's the only reasoning I can see you adjusting these out the box. I also have a controller where I can adjust these manually through it, so I would probably do that instead. Also play with vibration off, just a habit since Gears of War 4 that I picked up. But anyways, to touch back on my sensitivity here, so 25 for the general sensitivity horizontally and vertically. My target sensitivity, so when you aim down sight, I have it at 24, and then for my scope sensitivity, it's at 23. These are my initial settings. I might change them in the future. If I do, I'll update you guys if they're drastic at all. If I do make any changes in the near future, it'll probably be minor because I really like where I'm at sensitivity wise on this game. But let me show you aim acceleration real quick. So 25 you would think is typically very fast, but this is me turning completely at full speed. And then if I turn on aim acceleration, you guys will see, we'll max it out. Huge difference, right? So you could technically play like really low sense and have your aim acceleration up high. I like having a very linear and controlled and consistent sensitivity. So I have mine with 0 aim acceleration. Once again, I'll show you guys what that looks like. Super slow. It's almost like I'm playing low sensitivity. Let me know what settings you guys are running on the game, and maybe I'll make another video going more in depth on certain settings if you guys have questions about it. But I just wanted to put this video out there to kind of answer the question when people ask me, hey, what settings are you playing on and why? Let me know what other videos you guys want me to make on this game, and I will go ahead and do that. Drop a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and leave a like. It really helps. I appreciate it. See ya.